Okay. Hello. Okay. So, I'm at the editing point of this video now, and I thought I'll cover up a few things. So, this is the day after it's happened. So, basically, to sum everything up, yesterday was a trip to France for my college. As you'll see in the video, I'll explain a little bit throughout, but you're not going to hear me talking that much. You're going to see pans of the shots. I'm going to be speaking over the top during the edit. It was very crowded, very noisy, very hard to get anything in. So, as you'll see, I'm going to explain it all now. So, the trip, either way, to Lille in France was 5 hours each way. Sadly, it took a little bit longer because the trains were delayed and the French riots. Now, we knew about the riots, but we didn't think they were getting away because they were only happening in Paris. Now, it turns out that didn't quite go to plan. So, we got out of the French Eurotunnel in France. We made it that far after the train delay in the first one, and there were protesters. They were wearing big yellow high-vis. You'll see them later in the video. They were wearing big yellow high-vis, and they were lying down in the road, stopping all traffic either way. Police were there, but they didn't. The French police couldn't do anything about it. They can't physically drag somebody out the way. They're just being in charge of people's safety at this point. The riots were absolutely hectic, but nobody seemed to get hurt where we were. I mean, people were very cautious, but nobody got hurt. Everyone stayed in the coach. Everyone was safe. It was all okay. It just unfortunately dragged the entire thing, meaning we only got 3 hours in France itself before we had to get back on the coach to get back into England on time. So yeah, that left 5 hours to travel each way, with only about 3 hours to actually look around and get footage and stuff like that. So yeah, that's about all I needed to cover up and save just before the video starts. I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, I've worked hard on it, promise. Alright, enjoy. Okay, this is the beginning of my trip to France. Now it is that time. I don't know if that's backwards. Good luck. I'll flip it. 4:34 a.m. Tired. But we're going to France. Crisp market. And the reason I'm recording this, college. Now, it's going to be a fun trip, and I'm going to do a lot of recording and basically studying on people and how they interact and how they try to sell their products. Mainly looking into the food business, but other businesses probably work the same way. May even step into the old restaurant to see how things change. Now, I'm kind of hyped, but I'll give you some updates along the way. Alright. Okay, so it's 5:32 a.m. and we're driving. We are on the way to the coach. Oh, it's empty on the roads. I love it. Okay. Okay, so at this point we were on the coach, and straight away we're going down to change coaches. Unfortunately, we had to change between two coaches. The first one took us only to where all the other coaches met, and then the second one merged us, and we went on to the second coach, which would then take us all the rest of the way into France. I literally turned to the left, saw this beautiful sky out, and I thought, that's a good starting point. Let's video this. So yeah, that's what you get to see. Okay, so for some reason I clearly haven't decided to speak in this video, but this was the point where we ended up arriving in France, and straight away you are greeted by flags, a bridge, colourful building. There's a little statue you see right just there. Great timing. Yeah, it's a beautiful area actually. In a minute you'll get to see a beautifully coloured building, which actually is the side of a shopping mall that I later discovered after looking for the nearest Lego store. But it is beautiful. Although, as you can see, the clouds are rolling in. We wasn't sure if this was because of winter or if it was going to rain, but as you'll see later on, spoilers, it rains. Okay, and there's a colourful building. Okay, so I am in Lille Christmas Market, and it is quite amazing. We've been through the Paris riots to get here, we have been through border control, train delays, it has been mad. But we are here. Oh, it is good. Oh, I can't wait to have a proper look around. Okay, so this video is going to loop a few times, just as my voiceover goes over, but I want you to listen to the music and the atmosphere. That's the big thing here. It's so pretty and beautiful, and a little busker, just with pots and pans playing away, just music, and it was really entertaining. I guess this is probably not the best time to address it, but I do apologise now for the shaking of the camera and stuff. Clearly that's very cold. But here I'm passing some restaurants. As you can see, it's outdoor sheltering, like gazebo, like tents. You've got signs out there advertising. You've got actual waiters who are not serving, actually standing outside the places, trying to invite people in if it's quiet. But every single restaurant is busy trying to bring in the customers from the Christmas market. Yeah, see? Okay, so this is the first look of inside the actual Christmas market. As you see right here, we got people in jackets. They're all properly dressed up, even though they are, you know, outside in the market. They're still properly dressed up in the correct uniform. They're still making and prepping food. And it's quite, you know, it's good. They keep following standards and still following, you know, health and safety with the food and stuff. Everyone's still wearing the correct clothing, but when they're actually serving and making food, it's very good. So we should listen to the actual noise that they got. Little the stuff they're selling, they're actually trying to show it all off. They got stuff dangled from strings, like actual baubles wood. So it's selling all the snow globes. They have it all displayed and trying to attract all the customers in. As you can see, it's very pretty and it draws it all in. Also, I haven't quite got the use of the camera, so. So as you can see in this video, they're actually preparing chocolate. This is a more of like a religious stand, but they're preparing chocolate. They've got, and you see in the top right corner in a second, they're actually dipping it in the marshmallows into chocolate and having it all prepared. It's just amazing. Now, it wouldn't be Christmas without Santa, although I saw him smoking earlier. I'm going to use the word cute quite a lot, but this is a really cute stand of like these truffles, and he had every single bit labelled with allergens and what it contains. So out of nowhere we see a police car come around the corner, and then all of a sudden these guys join them. So these are the people who are rioting. So our first thing was to record them, because that makes sense. Yeah, so we soon decided to actually turn around and retreat, and we walked further away from them down the street, and we ended up stumbling upon a winery. Quite fortunate, because that's what my mum likes to drink. Now, you see me walking around this winery, and I don't say much, but I actually had a very quick chat because we were in a rush. But I had a chat with the actual server, the guy who works here, and I had to talk about some of the wines, how the labels are, which ones are actually their own brands, etc. And I even looked at a few vintages behind, behind closed doors. But yeah, very interesting.
You can see how, as age transgresses, colours change too. It's quite interesting. These are all the sort of vintage ones.
They're fairly new in year, aren't they, though? Yes, new ones.
So this brings us to the end of the video. Now, I know it doesn't look like much from what I've actually gathered, but I have learned a lot. There's some bits I want to cover that I just didn't have the time to actually cover during the voiceover because of the actual time of the video. But when I went around the Christmas market, everyone was very focused on all the stalls that were focused on food were very focused about the food hygiene. You know, they wore the correct uniform. They were very polite. They were multilingual. They spoke not just their own their language, but they also spoke English, so they can communicate with the other people who actually came in. So this was very good. They could speak to us properly, and that was very important because it shows that they've taken the time to look at who their customers are going to be at this Christmas market and be prepared to speak to us. When it came to them serving food, they did it cleanly. There's this one with like marshmallows dipped into chocolate, and they always serve it with a napkin, to catch. So they're very prepared. When it came to food, came to beverages, there's a couple of like a mulled wine place. There's one like cocktail place, and yeah, like a bit of a, I can't remember, I think it might have been Bruno Mars playing in the background, but the measurements they were serving were very expensive for what you was getting. So you was getting a wine glass about that long, which is normal legfish, but you're getting it about that thin. So it was about that at the top, and it sort of stayed the same and sort of curved down the point at the end like a champagne glass, but even thinner. And it was bad measurements for the money you were paying, but I guess in a business point of view, it probably made a lot of money. But it was multi cocktail, so they made like a variety, and you can go up to this guy and say, "Are you able to make this cocktail?" And he'll say, "Yeah, of course, I can make that cocktail. Although it's not on my list, I can make it for you." And the price would be very similar to the prices on the board. So that was very good. He was a good guy. I had a small chat with him about measurements and stuff. What else to cover? As you saw, the riots were pretty bad. That pushed us back towards the which is probably a good thing. We ended up stumbling upon a winery, or a vineyard, or whatever you want to call these places nowadays. But it's this lovely little beautiful shop, as you see in the video. Wine everywhere, and you've got many helpful staff ready to stand there and explain anything to you. So I got chatting to this one guy because my mum was talking to somebody else about trying to find a wine. So I was speaking to this one guy about the wine that they have, what is his favourite, which ones are fruity, They did mix red, white, rosé, a few other they did sherry and stuff like that. And I spoke to him, got onto the topic of vintages, and he showed me a few that were out the front, and then he's showed me some just around the corner into their like storeroom a little bit of a few more expensive vintages that they sell. That and there's a few that they don't actually quite sell yet. They're waiting for a certain year, waiting for 2019 to come over, so they can say, oh, this is 50 years old, and stuff like that. But it's really interesting going there actually. Although like this guy was French, he still spoke perfect English. Like I say, very good that he was able to speak the language, of, my language, and was able to communicate perfect. So yeah, all in all, it was a really good trip, education wise. Sadly, like I say, it had its downfalls. The travel time, because I went by coach. So yeah, we met at a pickup point, got in a coach, went to France, spent the day there, got back on the coach, went home. I mean, that was a plan, anyways. As you know, there was actually a change of plan where we got on one coach, we got split into another coach that ended up taking us to France, along with the train delays and the riots that took even longer. It was a bit messy. I mean, we were supposed to get 5 hours in France. That was what we were supposed to get, right? Although it's a day trip, but we're supposed to get 5 hours. Because of all the delays, we got 3. Bit annoyed. Didn't get much time to do stuff. But A, I managed to find a Lego store. B, I managed to find a comic book store, which should be completely by surprise. And 3, I got all of this footage for you. Now, unfortunately, because we were in such a rush, the coach driver was like, you got to get back now. You got to get back to this point. You got to do this. You got to be here at this time. Etc. He didn't. We was very much in a rush. We was very pushed through. And although, we got... not everyone got the stuff they wanted to get. The people I went with were a little bit unhappy. They were like, oh, I could have got this, but I had no time. Oh, I wish I got this, but yeah, again, no time. And stuff like that. I mean, we were the last people to the bus. But yeah, overall, it was a good trip, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, this is probably where the video concludes. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, I worked hard, tired, absolutely tired, didn't get any sleep. So that's almost 48 hours of no sleep, so I was drained, which is why it's almost dark outside. As you see, it's orange in the room right now. I've got lights on. But yeah, I slept through the day and worked through the evening to produce this video for you. Hope it's enough, and I hope you enjoy it. Now, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.